stay inspired. Okay, stay inspired. One of the ways, so I stayed inspired by giving love to my husband and letting him know how much I appreciated him. I stayed inspired also by prayer partner session where she reminded me of my favorite scripture, and I'm going to share it with you. Let's see if I can pull it up really fast. Hello, this is Mimi Kelly from the Creative Space Podcast. I'm going to be coming to you on Wednesday because where I record Tuesdays is Gardner Day. So we don't want to come on Tuesdays. And today's subject is staying inspired. Okay, stay inspired. I have the Georgia May Sip and Share. Georgia May is a breast cancer awareness nonprofit that I started to carry my mother, Dr. Georgia May's legacy on. And so I had a sip and share where we said the names of breast cancer warriors and also anyone who was battling breast cancer. We had two dynamic speakers. And we had good treats and drinks, apple cider, bubbling apple cider, and it was just a really sweet affair. And after that, I got really, really sick. And so I am just now coming back. I danced this morning and I'm feeling better. But while I was sick, my spirits dipped as I was not feeling well. And two things brought me out, I realized. One, well, three, Kamala and A New Way Forward. Every time I hear that, I get chills down my spine because I'm a girl raised in the 60s and I envisioned this country that was open with open dialogue and lots of back and forth, and our organizations would be open and fluid. And that's what I expected. I always expected the 60s vibe, and we have turned the other way, America. And so anytime I hear A New Way Forward, I get chills down my spine. But I think she's calling on us. Well, I hope she will call on us to take inventory of our personal lives and our personal organizations to see if, in fact, they are moving in a new way forward. Because I don't think, a president like number 45 rises to the top without there being a lot of mirrors in the country. And I'm going to say on both sides that mirror that kind of um, authoritarian and dictatorship in our organizations, and one person leading and one person powerful, and you're afraid of anybody outside of your circle, and there's walls built up. And so I think we should look at our lives, look at our organizations, and make sure that we really are creating a new way forward, because one person can't do it. If she's in the White House, that's going to be great and dandy, but if we don't really want a new way forward in a very democratic way for our organizations and our communities, it's not going to happen. So let's all look at our lives, make sure we are valuing everyone, seeing everyone, and staying inspired. While I was feeling down, I was trying to get out Every Night in LA, which is being submitted to a platform that's considering producing it. Yay! I'll know in December. Send up prayers. Meanwhile, I'm still investigating raising the funds and producing it myself in case this network doesn't take it. But so I needed to get the final script to them because I've been making changes. And so, but I had promised my husband that I was going to make lasagna because while I was sick, he was sick, and we didn't have any homemade food. So we've been eating out a lot, and that's not the Kellys. So I wanted to make this lasagna. But when I started working on the script, I couldn't tear myself away from it. And so I didn't. And so when he called to ask, was the lasagna going to be ready? I had to be truthful. And the man then came home from work. He didn't even come home, stopped at the store, bought all the ingredients, came in, dropped his his work stuff and made the biggest, best batch of lasagna. And it made me weep because I thought, not finally, I said to him, "You are so kind to me, and I so appreciate you." And I think we need to say that to our friends and family as much as possible, that we love them, that we appreciate them, that we see them. Make the people in your life believe that you understand that they matter, because I just think that is so, so important. Okay, so what else is on my Creative Space podcast today? I have to look at my notes, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm blind as a bat, but I have to look. So, a new way forward is about being clear about who you are on the planet, what it is you're offering. I hope someone is getting something from this creative podcast, because I don't ever want to do anything that's not of value. So, drop me a note and let me know that you're watching this thing and that you like it. Um, I'm offering the ebook, remember, Loving America While It's Out of Bounds, a book of essays that I wrote for my sons. I'm going to send that thing to a publisher because I love it. I came up with something else while I was doing the Georgia May Sip and Share. My mom lived by this motto, and I'm going to tell you this quick story. I was with her at one of her last hospital stays when the cancer had come back with a vengeance. My mom battled breast cancer for 34 years, but it had come back with a vengeance. I had been by her bedside at a hospital in the DC area for a couple of days, and I was starving. So I left the room. I'm wandering through this corridor that I don't know, looking for an open diner or an open store so I can get some snacks. And I go down this one corridor and I look up, and there's a life-size picture of my mom from the oncology department. And underneath it said, "I thrived with cancer because I followed my dreams." Pause, exclamation mark. And that's part of the reason I'm here. That sign, that quote underneath her picture in that hospital made me understand that I should never, ever give up on my dream. And my dream is to have Every Night in LA, which is a heartwarming family story that I believe is going to go down with the ages. Um, and I shouldn't give up on that, because Hollywood is hard, because Hollywood has walls built up around it. But I shouldn't give up. I should just keep going. Um, and so I wanted to share that with you. But also, that made me think about my mom's story and how the cancer in her health was also connected to her story of just refusing to give up and always looking for inspiration and staying inspired. And so I want to have Georgia May storytellers. And the Georgia May storyteller is a woman who shares stories, because she wants to encourage others. She wants to encourage healing. She wants to inspire others and build a community. And so I want us to just come together to look at each other in a Zoom to say, "I see you. I see what you're doing. I appreciate you," to find out if there's any way we can help one another. And I'm going to have that Georgia May storytellers. I was going to segregate it by age because, I'm mature. I'm 16 in my heart, but I have 3 grown sons. But I hate separating people. I just think we got to stop. I think we got to all come together. So I'm just going to have Georgia May storytellers. Whenever I look at the analytics of my creative podcasts or my websites, it goes from 18 to 65. Okay. So you're touching everybody. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just leave no age barrier. Just come. If you are a Black woman, if you are a woman of color, if you are a white woman, and you know that you share stories to heal others, to encourage others, to inspire others, to build community, you are a Georgia May storyteller. So I want you to meet me in the Zoom on October 20th from 3 to 4. I'm making it short and sweet because this one is just so that we can look at each other and say, you matter. Stay inspired, girl. Keep sharing those stories, and we can decide how we want to come together again. How does that sound? October 20th, 3 to 4, Sunday. Free, free, free in the Zoom. The other thing is that Doggone Your Voice Matters workshop on October 26th, Saturday, 10 to 12 Pacific Standard Time. There is a little fee because I've been giving away my art for decades and I have to be compensated some for my time. So go to the elevatedstories.me store, click on it. It may say October 9th on the 19th on the poster, but we've changed it to October 26th. October 26th. Please join me in the Zoom. You're going to be touched like never before. I'm going to put up on my Mimi Kelly Writes page a note that someone sent me after the last Your Voice Matters workshop. I I give it from my heart. I give it from my heart. I've been doing writing and sharing plays, essays, books, now films since the 90s, y'all, okay? And it's sustained me and nourished me like no other process. And so I want that for others. I want you to understand the essence of your story and which platform is best. I want to give you keys and tools to put it up as a play, to do it as an essay, to do it as a short film, to do it as a documentary. I'm working on the Georgia May documentary, to do it as a feature, one night in LA and every night in LA. I know folks are tired of hearing me say it, but I can't help but shout about it. So stay inspired, okay? Stay inspired. One of the ways, so I stayed inspired by giving love to my husband and letting him know how much I appreciated him. I stayed inspired also by a prayer partner session where she reminded me of my favorite scripture, and I'm going to share it with you. Let's see if I can pull it up really fast. Be with me. Here it is. It's Isaiah 40:31. In the last creative podcast, showed you Wings to Fly, a novel, which you can get in the store. That whole novel is based off of this scripture. But they, Isaiah 40:31, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. So while I was physically not feeling well, I began to feel like spiritually, like I was going to faint. Like I didn't have the energy or the inspiration to continue knocking on doors for every night in LA to get what we need to get it produced. But that prayer session extended my heart to my husband. Last night I watched Going to Mars, a documentary, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Kudos to the producers and the directors. I don't want to mispronounce anybody's name, but I know it's producer Tommy and his wife, producer Cody. I don't have the directors' names in front of me, but kudos to them. That I loved it. I loved it. And they got an Emmy for it. So somebody else loved it too. So anyway, there's inspiration all around us. We just have to find it. The technology is amazing. I've decided I'm going to do the creative space formally every 2 weeks. But leading up to the Your Voices workshop, I will probably do some little shout outs from my iPhone because the technology lets us turn it on with a flick. And so I'll do some shout outs that way. And but I will be sitting here every 2 weeks. And as soon as I get my bearings with everything, I will invite some guests to talk to me because I love to talk to people. Okay? So that's it for today. God bless you and stay inspired. Meditate, pray, exercise, dance. Find some inspirational movies to watch, okay? You can do it. I know it. And then make sure you get Loving America While It's Out of Bounds, a book of essays for my sons. There's so much inspiration in those. Make sure you come to the Georgia May Storytellers Zoom on Sunday, October 20th from 3 to 4. And then make sure you show up in the Zoom again with me for the Your Voices Matters workshop. Okay, which is Saturday, October 26th. That's it. God bless you. This is Mimi Kelly signing off from her Creative Space podcast. Bye. Thank you for watching.